So digitization is a very simple thing, just mimicking your particular paper process electronically.
Okay.
In short, if I'll say, it's just nothing but a replication of paper onto electronic, or in a simple word, the terminology what we see, paper on glass. Trust me, we can't be paperless everywhere. Paperless again is just a buzzword. It is not paperless, it is less paper. Every Indian pharmaceutical companies, they do not want to do business only in India. They also want to actually spread their wings across US and European market
Right.
and Latin American market. A phase will come after 6 months where your 90% will be electronic and 10% will be paper. That is what is the confidence that you need to give it to people instead of saying, hey guys, stop this right from day one, move electronically. No, change your SOP. See, SOP is just a document.
Yeah.
Change your SOP, train your people.
So today we have Mr. Manmeet Singh, a CIO from one of the Asia's largest CRO company called Lambda. His journey has been really magnificent. Today we will try to unfold how he has become a CIO of such a large company and what are his strategies in digital transformation area and what are his thoughts about the trends happening in digital transformation. So welcome Mr. Manmeet to Pharma now.
Thank you so much.
Perfect. I think you started your career with telecom industry.
Yeah.
And now you become a CIO of one of the largest CRO in Asia. So let's talk about this journey. How you end up being CIO of this company?
Sure. See, I started my journey way back in early 2000,
Okay.
where I did my, what do you say, I am a basically science graduate.
Okay.
Okay, I also did my MBA from Somaya Institute of Management Research
Okay.
in Mumbai, okay, in information technology. Then actually I started my career into telecom industry. Okay, so telecom was the major particular booming industry, which were actually going through, what do you say, the digitization journey. Okay, so we started, what do you say, the telecom company started actually showing to the customers, saying that the telecom era will get evolved. People will start chatting or doing a video conferencing call on a phone. Okay, people will also start surfing the internet. People
Right.
can do trading on, because people can do trading on phone.
Right.
People can do banking on phone. But again, in the early 2000, this was just a dream, because many of us were having, what do you say, a landline phone, which was a blessing in disguise. Okay, to have that particular telephone or landline phone at a residence.
Right.
Okay, then slowly we went to, what do you say, a T9 type of a phone,
Right.
which is to have 0 to 9 particular keypad. Many of might have used this phone. Okay, where the phone was majorly used for only for calling
Right.
and for sending and receiving messages. Okay, the screen was having such a small display, we can't actually imagine saying that how can we do a video call, how can we do, what is online banking, how can we do a surfing of internet, because whenever we used to even try to open google.com, it is to take at least a minute or 2 minutes searching content. Again, it was, what do you say, not, what do you say, feasible.
Right.
It's not only about the phone. So then even you see the industry also realized it's not about the only handset. The technology also has to be evolved.
Correct.
Okay, where we were actually on GPRS, slowly we went to 2G, slowly we moved to 3G and 4G. Then the touchscreen phones came into existence. Okay, so which has actually changed the way of actually commuting with each other.
Right.
Okay, so now we see we do not actually need to ask address to anybody. We just type it on Google, we reach the destination.
Correct.
Okay, calling multiple people in a conference call through a video is just a click away from us.
Right.
So I started my journey into telecom, and eventually I moved into the pharma domain space. Typically a life sciences space, which consists of three industry:
Correct.
the clinical research industry, pharmaceutical, and a healthcare industry, comprising three together into a life sciences industry.
Right.
So I started my journey into pharmaceutical in 2007
Okay.
with the Reliance Life Sciences, which is again, though it's a very small company in pharmaceutical manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
But the nature of business is much complex as compared to any of the big pharmaceutical companies.
Correct.
Because the company is into full clinical research organization.
Mm.
Okay, so the company is also into animal studies.
Okay.
So they are into phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 clinical studies.
Okay.
They are into plasma manufacturing. They are into biopharmaceutical manufacturing. They are also into uh, a generic pharmaceutical manufacturing.
Okay. Okay.
Plus, company is also into what is a stem cell research. Okay, a lot of actually research. So the niche, though it's a small particular company of say around 1,000+ crore, but the nature of business is much complex in 2007 onwards.
Okay.
Now the company has actually grown. It has actually grown multifold.
Right.
Even the employee strength also has grown. So I started my journey of pharmaceutical from Reliance Life Sciences,
Okay.
where the major initiative was to convert each particular area into digital.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we started with clinical research. Okay, by doing small digitization, then we move to a manufacturing area.
Okay.
Okay, then we move into what you say the lab areas.
Okay.
Okay, then we moved into what you say doing digitization in R&Ds.
So what was your role in Reliance Life
So,
Sciences?
I joined there as a what do you say a senior manager,
Okay.
and eventually in 13 years time frame, I grown, and I retired means not retired. You can say I shifted actually to Sun Pharmaceutical at an associate vice president level.
Okay.
Okay, so I started the journey of digitization along with my particular peers who helped
Okay.
me.
Okay.
Again, I say it's not a one-person job
Yeah.
because there are multiple areas and I can't actually reach to each and every area.
Right.
So with the help of everybody, okay, so the task was given to individual people where everybody started small digitization section in their area, and eventually going forward we can stitch every pieces together so that we can have a seamless integration to the end users.
So, Mr. Manmeet, I think digital transformation and digitization is a very buzzword,
That's correct.
but actually, people doesn't understand what exactly it means. So, can you put more light on what exactly you, when you say digitization, you'd start doing digitization. What exactly we did?
So digitization is a very simple thing, just mimicking your particular paper process electronically.
Okay.
In short, if I'll say, it's just nothing but a replication of paper onto electronic, or in a simple word, the terminology what we see, paper on glass. Okay,
That's nice.
that's the actually word. Okay, and trust me, we can't be paperless everywhere. Paperless again is just a buzzword. It is not paperless. It is less paper.
Yeah.
That is the correct particular
That's
terminology.
very nice.
As per me, it is actually less paper. However, the paper will be there. There will be manual decisions. There will be emails which will be floating around. Okay, so you will have what you say a paper process as well, which you can't mimic it completely to electronic.
Right.
Okay, digitalization is where you connect each and everything. Okay, which will actually help you to give more decision making power.
Right.
Okay, so where you are manually taking a decision, now you are relying on the system saying that give me some insight so that I can move forward very fast.
Correct.
Okay, that's actually the era of digitalization.
Right.
Okay, which we will take some time in manufacturing, in pharmaceutical manufacturing. It's not because that we do not want, we definitely want. But the challenge is that pharmaceutical and CRO industry, they are a much regulated industry because we are touching with the patient's life directly.
Correct.
Okay, and we are actually susceptible to actually audits.
Right.
So now being in a CRO industry, we and a pharmaceutical industry, we have been continuously be monitored by the regulators,
Right.
because every Indian pharmaceutical companies, they do not want to do business only in India. They also want to actually spread their wings across US and European market
Right.
and Latin American market. So,
Right.
so if you go there, so you need to actually get their local regulatory approvals.
Right.
For example, if you want to market your product in US,
Right.
your particular filing has to be approved by USFDA.
Correct.
Similar for Europe, EMA has to do the approvals.
Right.
Okay, and similar for the Latin America, Brazil market, Anvisa has to do the approvals.
Right.
Unlike Indian market where DCGI does the approvals.
Correct.
Okay, so it's not, so that's why we have been continuously been monitored by the regulators. And again, you really do not know when the audits are going to happen, because there are companies in India which only produce APIs. okay, active pharmaceutical products,
Correct.
ingredients,
Yeah.
okay, which is the core particular, you can say, an ingredient for any tablets
Yes.
or any, what do you say, injectables.
Yeah.
Okay, so the drug pharmaceutical manufacturing company, they might produce API in-house, or they might actually outsource the API from any other API manufacturing. So while filing to the regulator, you have to mention everything, where the API was sourced, how it was tested, okay, how the drug formulation was actually made, okay. So there are most likely chances the regulator will also audit the API manufacturing company. This is how the audits actually gets triggered.
Correct. So, when you say ki because of the of course there is a regulators, there are regulations. So digitization is of course one step right now. So does digitization or digital transformation helps to achieve this audit in a faster way?
Yes. Yes. See, my straight answer to this particular question is definitely yes.
Okay.
Definitely yes, because let's say 15 years back, when we were actually on the paper, okay, when any auditor comes, okay, from the Western world, okay, before coming, they actually send us multiple formats saying that, hey guys, please fill these formats and give back to us.
Correct.
Anyways, we have done our batch manufacturing on the paper.
Right.
We have done testing on the paper. But however, for submitting it to the auditor, we need to fill their particular formats in Excel and we need to give them the data.
Correct.
However, actually, if you see, we have started that particular journey. But only thing is that that was actually mostly a reactive particular kind of approach,
Okay.
where things happen on the paper and then later on transcribed in Excel. And the auditor is to review and they is to come back to visit the plant, they is to do an audit, and they is to give us observations. Some is to get cleared, some is to get observation. Okay, but now the business leaders, especially from the manufacturing, the in pharmaceutical manufacturing, and the QC is the core heart of the entire process.
Agreed. Right.
Okay, now the leaders in this space, they started understanding, yes, digitization has to be done. We cannot do duplicate work. Okay,
Yeah.
first transcribe on a paper, then actually put it things in Excel. So rather than let me actually do once, and then you extract the data and submit it to any of the regulator.
Correct.
So slowly, actually, the need started actually arising from the end users, saying that we need a shift. Okay, okay. One thing is that we see that technology getting evolved around us.
Right.
The business leader are also the consumer of other particular technology. Like if they want to do any airline booking, they want to do any airline travel,
Right.
they do everything actually on the phone or on the web.
Yeah.
And then they come back to us, say, hey guys, why can't you do it for us? So the need get actually arise from their end. And slowly the digitalization journey we started seeing happening in the pharmaceutical and the clinical space organization,
Correct.
because the regulator and the environment are driving us.
Okay. Okay.
So these are the major two factors which is driving us to move towards digitizations.
Correct. So, if in comparison to all other industries like retail or any other than pharma industry, digitalization has taken a very fast pace. But in pharma industry, that pace is not that great. What can be those challenges in particular pharma manufacturing area, clinical research area? What can be those challenges for the digital transformation?
See, one particular major challenge is the documentation challenge.
Okay.
Okay, because let's say if I implement any manual process into electronic, I need to produce some documentation evidence saying that this particular automation system gives me an equal output what actually I get it on a paper,
Right.
and this has to be documented very thoroughly.
Right.
And it's not only one document. There are actually a set of document right from, what do you say, initiation of a change control, for formulating a process called as user requirement specification, which will get translated into a design specification, which will further goes in doing validation. Typically, we call it as IQ, OQ, PQ
Right.
in pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah. Agreed.
And any of the auditor, whoever comes into our premise to do an audit, they do not see our face and they say, hey guys, you are doing some good things, I will not go through your process. No. Auditor will actually see the document.
Okay.
Okay. And we have to show them the document saying that, hey guys, These are the documents which gives you an exact output, which is actually there on the paper. So the documentation actually takes some time, but
Right.
now also actually if we adopt some standard softwares from a large particular OEMs, okay, they give us a standard document. Somewhere you have to execute the document
Correct.
by putting the exact date and timestamp when have you executed.
Correct.
In pharmaceutical, one more thing is that whatever you are doing, you have to do it contemporaneously, which means whatever you are doing, you have to do on the spot. Okay, no backdated is allowed. Okay, so whatever the screenshot that you are capturing, you have to capture it there itself. Okay, when you are executing, which even auditor check.
Correct.
So this is that's why actually we are lagging in terms of retail, because in terms of retail, because there is no much documentation except testing. Okay, once you satisfy with the particular release of testing, you move things to production, and you know saying that in case if something happens on production, you have a way out. Let's say if I'm giving, let's say instead of 50% discount, I land up giving, let's say 48% discount. Okay, my system is not working properly. See, it is not going to impact the end customer. Okay, I'll say, okay boss, there is a mistake in the system, why can't you take 2% additional?
Yeah.
Okay, in case of pharmaceutical, the patient is going to consume the medicine because the decision has been taken by software.
Correct.
Okay, so this is going to impact their life.
Right.
That is why the documentation is an uttermost important thing for us.
That's interesting.
That's why actually
Sure.
it's been a bit pretty slow
Yeah.
as compared to other industries.
Agreed. Agreed. So let me go back to your days in Reliance Life Sciences. I think you spent almost 13 years there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a long stint. So during that time, what all those initiatives you took for digitization? I would like to know more about it. What all things you did, where you failed or you maybe succeeded.
See, one thing in the particular clinical trial management system, so we implemented what is say a CTMS solution.
Okay.
Real
CTMS.
CTMS solution for the clinical research.
Okay.
Okay, we also implemented what is say a lab information management system across all the three business verticals.
Okay.
Okay, so Reliance Life Sciences was into pharmaceutical manufacturing, biopharmaceutical manufacturing, and plasma manufacturing. So lab information management system cutting across all the three verticals. Okay, and electronic lab notebook. Okay, for the scientific community. So we were having 8 research manufacturing units.
Okay.
Okay, so which even do stem cell research to pharmaceutical research, plasma manufacturing. So electronic lab notebook across all these R&Ds. Plus there was another particular Salesforce automation for the field force executives.
Okay.
Plus the quality management system. Okay, and other small particular initiative which actually help the company to move at least into the moving towards the digital step.
Right. Right. So when you say lab notebook, that what it mean?
So previously the scientists who used to do, say scientists basically they do experiments.
Correct.
Their particular major area is to develop some new molecule or to do some new invention around the molecules. Okay, so their major particular task is to do a science. Okay, science. Okay, so after doing science, they have to transcribe a lot of things actually manually onto a green books which are called as lab notebooks,
Okay.
where they transcribe the what do you say everything manually by hand. Okay, they attach the what do you say the results which is to get it from the instruments.
Okay.
Okay, the slips that they used to generate from the instrument, they used to stick with the lab notebook. Okay, they used to draw the chemical particular structures. Okay, they used to send these particular physical books.
Correct.
Okay, for review and approval.
Right.
Okay, and then finally this book has to be stored.
Correct.
Okay, so once the experiment is successful, you do a tech transfer to the manufacturing saying that I develop a small scale R&D. Now you can manufacture a large scale manufacturing. So the tech transfer which happens from R&D to manufacturing is to happen on particular paper.
Okay.
Okay, so digitizing the e-lab notebook saying that where the experiment gets started recording electronically.
Okay.
Okay, at the first instance you will not find the benefit, you will only see saying that paper to electronic. But over a period of time, if I'm doing the same experiment The system is to throw me exceptions, saying that, hey guys, if you are going to do this, you are going to get challenge at step number 5.
Correct.
If you are going to do this, okay, you are going to get a challenge at step number 4, for example.
Right.
Okay, so this is what is the insight that system throws you
Correct.
if you start doing an experiment.
Sure.
So this is how actually ELN will actually help scientists.
Very interesting.
Plus also they will actually design their molecular formulas. Okay. Otherwise everybody has to manually, they have to search on Google.
Yeah.
This plus this gives you A plus B, give you A plus B or A plus C, something.
Sure, that's very interesting. So I also run a technology company. So of course, when we implement any new digital initiative in the organization, the first reaction is always adaptation. So there is always a problem in adaptation of the new technology,
Right.
and the users will resist because that is the nature of human. So as a digital transformation initiator, how you tackle this part and how you convince your users to adopt the technology and get the benefit out of it?
Fantastic. See, this is actually a very, very good question, because we seen saying that the adoption of technology is very less. Is very less because see, we do not actually communicate the exact benefit to the end users. Okay. See, users are seen saying that if some technology comes, so that means there will be reduction in jobs.
Correct.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you have to actually move their mindset away, saying that, hey guys, there will be no reduction in jobs. Point number 1. Okay. Second thing, you have to communicate them the exact benefit. Okay. Again, there are some my particular friends who think saying that top-down approach is a better approach.
Yes.
But top-down approach will only work once. Okay, but please understand, okay, you have to deal daily with your shop floor level people.
Correct.
So it's better that you take them along with you. Okay, you very openly don't put any computers in this right now. As of now, you understand what is the pain challenges. Start listing down. Okay, then you see saying that what are you going to digitize? Okay, in phase 1. See, not if they see people will tell you saying that I want a blue sky. Are you able to give them? No. Okay, so they will give you all sort of things very openly. Tell them, hey guys, at the first instance, I am only going to give you out of 10, 3 P's. But give them the major 3 P's which will contribute 70% of their problem areas. Faster decision making, okay, faster reviews, instead of a full review, exception by reviews. Okay, so that you can do more reviews. Okay, so this type of things, if you
So,
start
so you
giving
meant to
them,
say ki instant gratification kind of stuff. So let them see the result first, so that once they test the result, I think they will adopt it fast.
not test the result, you show them the actual particular picture, what are you going to get benefit. So you don't try to put everything in one go.
Correct.
It will be failure because you need to run your operations also. And day 1 you cannot shift your operations from paper to electronic. It's a phase wise manner.
Right.
So the newer example, if you are putting a new technology, let's say this is an electronic, this is paper. You have to continue some time on paper, and some new batches you need to take it electronically,
Right. Right.
which will give you a degree of confidence saying that slowly you start adapting electronic and start cutting the paper.
Correct.
A phase will come after 6 months where your 90% will be electronic and 10% will be paper. That is what is the confidence that you need to give it to people, instead of saying, hey guys, stop this right from day 1, move electronically. No,
Very
that will
interesting.
not be digestible and things will not work.
Very interesting. Very
So that would be a major challenge. And third challenge is that I think so you minimize the interface at the first go.
okay.
Okay, because there are a lot of actually decision. Okay, especially in QC. Let's say in case if there is some of your batch goes for out of specification. Okay, so they have to do investigation, phase 1, phase 2 investigation, which take good amount of time.
Correct.
Okay, and there are a lot of instruments which are getting involved.
Right.
Okay, so try to minimize what you say the interface. Wherever it is important, you do an interface. For example, if you have an ERP and you have a QMS system in place, where you take a decision in the QMS system while your batch release happen in ERP system. Okay, if a decision is batch should not go to market, take decision in QMS and just make the batch on hold in ERP.
Mm-hmm.
Just the batch on hold in ERP. And later on, once you clear the decision in QMS, you make the batch on hold in ERP so that batch can be gone into the market. So very minimal particular interface at the phase.
Correct, correct.
First phase. Not
So
the
rather
entire
than going a full in, maybe you need to go gradually, one step at a time. That's very interesting. So, Mr. Manmeet, I think, of course, being into this for a couple of decades now, you must have test failures also. Some implementation may have got haywire, the desired result was not achieved. You need to roll back the implementation. Can you share one of that experience?
See, one experience which actually I would like to share is that technology, we also actually, I also went through this particular similar phase where I need to actually roll back the technology. Okay. See, first of all, I want you saying that what do you want to digitize? Okay. First, let's write down the particular problem statement very clearly.
Correct.
Then you sit with your particular technology partner, think, are we going to do a custom development? Or am I going to buy a particular commercial off the shelf software?
Of the shelf support, yeah.
If the option is commercial off the shelf software, then please look for the commercial off the shelf software openly. Don't look from your process perspective, because the objective is the objective from the end user will be mimic my manual process into the particular commercial of the self software, rather than you see the commercial of the self software and change your SOPs.
Yeah.
Okay, because I believe, because the commercial of the self software has been made by the person who are already a QC analyst, a person who has already done a manufacturing batch, because these companies, they hire actually people who are actually QC analyst, who are actually what do you say, and production executive at shop floor level.
Right.
So they take the particular business ideas from them, they develop the software and they test the software thoroughly.
Right.
Okay, they implement across multiple companies.
Correct.
See, we also do the same thing. Most of the pharmaceutical company do the same thing. You get raw material, mix raw material, do your in process. Okay, in process manufacturing, you test the product is okay, you release the product, do the packaging, release the product in the marketing.
Correct.
In a nutshell, this is what all the companies do.
Correct.
And most of the commercial of the software that does this thing. See, maximum what you can do, you can, on the report, you can come up with what is a company logo.
Right.
You might have what is say, instead of 3-level approvals, you might have say 4-level approvals.
Right.
Okay, so you might have your own particular product naming conventions. Okay, but the major process which has been set in the code solution, you adapt that.
Correct.
Okay, instead of saying that instead of changing the codes as per your manual process, which will be a failure right from day one, because there are a lot of hidden things which does not come as part of the documentation in the URS right from day one.
Yeah.
Okay, so these all things we miss, which actually result in getting challenged, which results in getting the software stopped at a shop floor. So you have to revisit back, you have to think differently.
And I think you need to be very open to accept it.
You have to be very open, that's the right word what you said. You see it with an open mind, and then you see saying that what exactly this software does, what I am not doing.
Correct.
Then relate, change your SOP. See, SOP is just a document.
Yeah.
Change your SOP, train your people.
Agreed. Agreed.
So the adaptability will be much easier.
Correct.
Okay, you will be benefited going forward. Okay, the new particular releases that will be released by the vendor.
Right.
Okay, the interfaces will be much easier. Okay, so it will be win-win situation for both of you.
Right. Agreed. So after COVID, there is a lot of escalation in the transformation area and a lot of buzz around AI, deep tech, blockchain. So what are your viewpoints? How they are impacting the digital transformation as a process?
See, AI we see saying that now getting actually adapted into the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, again, but not to the full years. There are some particular cases which are getting actually evolved.
Right.
Okay. See, in pharmaceutical industry, we have been predominantly been separated by two terminologies. Call it as good manufacturing practices,
Yeah,
GMP,
GMP.
and non-GMP.
Yeah.
Okay, non-GMP, which we do not, which is not does not linked with the customers,
Correct.
like your HR solution, your finance solutions. Okay,
Correct.
so we see the complete digitization, even moving to the cloud journey. Okay, we also see the AI ML getting coming over here.
Right.
But you see in the GMP area, we just started digitizing things.
Okay.
Yes, AI is going to get adapted there itself.
Right.
But again, to test the AI, even to validate the AI, okay, we will require actually good amount of time,
Right.
documentation, because AI is a journey. You
Right.
cannot have AI in one go. It should AI saying that it might give you 50% output. You again train it, will give you 55% output,
Right.
but it will not give you 100% output.
Yeah.
Over a period of time, AI has to get evolved,
Correct.
and the batch is going to get impacted to the patient. So thus things is bit not digestible to the manufacturing industry. So
Yes.
AI will get evolved, but not now immediately.
Correct.
In the GMP, it will take some time, but
Right.
slowly it is getting evolved. But
Fantastic. Yeah, that's very true. So let's take a bit look at the Lambda. So the company where you are right now working. I think it's a 1,200 people company around,
yeah,
and you are spread across the 5 locations, rather across the 5 countries. As a CIO, how are you managing this whole workforce sitting in one location?
see, right now, India being an Ahmedabad location, so we operate basically headquarters in Ahmedabad.
Right.
Okay, and basically we have most of our bioanalytical lab, which is there in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
Okay, where we do a lot of actually R&D research.
Right.
Okay, plus and we do what is say the methods transfer from one location to another.
Right.
Okay, so that is very much possible, but managing from one location, see, we basically are into a clinical research organization. We do what is a phase 1 study on a healthy volunteers. We also do what is a phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 studies, which is actually a patient based study.
Correct.
Okay, so patient based study which I do, where actually I do it for my particular sponsors. So most of the pharmaceutical customers are my sponsors.
Right.
Okay, who award me the study. Okay, and many customers right from day one, they look for what is a country study.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so if they want to do a multi-country study, so the expectation from the regulator is that we should have an equal population to be participating in the study. For example, if I'm going to do uh, a breast cancer particular study.
Correct.
Okay, so and if I'm going to file my particular product manufactured from India into Indian market, into US market, into European market, so the expectation from the regulator is that uh, a set of population should participate from Europe, a set of population should also participate from US market. Okay, where you can actually test the particular drug on a human.
Correct.
Okay, so now to test the particular product, so we need to implement some solutions, okay, which can be actually accessible by all the particular, what do you say, the hospitals, okay, where the CREC, clinical research people, they can actually do the data entry directly from the hospital sites,
Okay.
and we can get the real time particular data sitting in India, where we can do a lot of actually analytics on top of that.
Okay.
So, so we eventually we are slowly moving our particular journey from an on-prem onto cloud, so that we can cater actually multiple geographies, multiple particular sponsors demand, and can manage actually multi-country studies.
Correct. Correct. I think on the closing note front, cloud, there is a last topic I think which we cannot miss while in our discussion. So, what are your key priorities in cloud side, cloud computing side now?
So cloud side, cloud computing is majorly, it is the one thing what we look is the particular security in the cloud. Second thing which is a very critical thing, if I want to do some studies in the Europe, so the EMA actually demands what you say, whether the data what you are actually getting from the European customer, is it GDPR compliant.
Yeah.
Okay, where exactly is your cloud
Hosted, yeah,
in this which region is the cloud which is hosted,
correct,
because the EMA does not, European regulator does not want the European data, the customer data to be moved away from Europe.
correct,
So there are a lot of actually, so we have to look for the particular partner who is actually compliant enough and who can give us a security solution.
correct.
Okay, ensuring that data is secured. Okay, data has been backed up. Okay, during retrieval, whenever we want, the data can be easily retrieved, and no particular performance challenge. This is what typically we will look from the cloud journey.
Wonderful. I think, Mr. Manmeet, this was really wonderful talking to you, going through various aspects of digital transformation and your journey as well. So I'm sure our audience will learn a lot of stuff from there. And thanks for sharing these insights.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for
Thanks,
coming on the Pharma now.
thank you everyone. Thank you so much.
Perfect.